Radio Grand Lac, à Aix-les-Bains et autour du lac du Bourget, votre radio.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Your English Weekly. My name is Sinead Dupont and I'm hosting our 23rd edition. So please stay tuned. I've got a blooming lady for spring speaking about numerology. So it's fascinating, historical, so don't turn off your radio or change stations. Stay with us. So thanks for listening to Your English Weekly, which is here to boost English speaking on various subjects. You can maybe even learn a word or two, who knows? As you may not know, we promote English speaking for the local community with English and non-English speakers, and always and every week with an expression of the week. So this week, our expression will be ding, 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 ding. We'll see in a second. And don't forget that Your English Workshop sponsors this show, Your English Weekly. So thanks to all our listeners at Radio Grand Lac, 92.1, that make this show work. And especially Jean-Pierre, who's with us today as well. Hi, Jean-Pierre. Isabel, so before you introduce yourself to the listeners and talk about numerology, I want to ask whether you know the expression, a bed of roses. Hi, Isabel.
Hi, Sinead, and thank you for welcoming me today on your program.
Thank you.
I discovered this expression a few months ago.
Yeah. During one of our little lessons, wasn't it?
Yes. Exactly.
So tell our listeners, what is a bed of roses?
So, perhaps you will see in the text.
Later. Maybe you get a chance to use it. That will be fantastic. Yes. Okay. So today we have Isabelle Vitry who's with us, a very magical and blooming lady who's very popular and well known in our area. And I know you're a coach in style and colors and you advise people on accessories, etc. And you help them do some shopping. So perhaps one day I'll be a lucky lady, Isabel, and be able to do this with you.
My pleasure.
Oh, fantastic. And I know you're also a coach in numerology, and that's our subject of today. Mm-hmm. Okay, Isabel, do you want to introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes. So as you said, I'm a personal stylist and a personal shopper. And I'm also a kind of holistic coach working with different tools and especially numerology. I have 3 cats, 2 children, and only one L at the end of my first name. So you have to write I-S-A-B-E-L.
And not double L-E like I have done. Oh, for goodness, I always make this mistake. Excuse me, Isabel.
Sorry, it's important for me.
Of course it is. Of course it is. So tell us, why did you choose this field of activity, numerology? Tell us why.
Well, to answer this question, Sinead, I have to tell you a little more about me. Mm-hmm. So I share my time between aix-les-bains and Paris, and I have found a perfect balance between the lake and the Eiffel Tower, the kind of nature and the effervescence of the capital. And in my eyes, the link between both cities is beauty. The beauty of those places that are so different, they really inspire me because I need to be in link with beauty, whether it is in art, in architecture, in nature, but also in fashion and in people. Beauty is everywhere.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
And my major motivation when coaching clients, whether it is image consulting or numerology, is to support them in finding their own beauty.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yes, and it's also a path to self-knowledge, self-acceptance, and self-esteem. So the purpose is definitely to find a certain art de vivre.
Oh, I do see.
And to achieve this, I work on the visible, and on the invisible, I work on image and interiority. So the ultimate goal is to create personal and professional opportunities in real life. Just because you know yourself better, you can be better aligned with the real you, and then you get more confidence and you become more performant.
Oh, that's definitely, that's what we're all striving for, performance.
Yes, we all. But be careful, it's not about having being perfect or living in a perfect life or in a perfect world. But I really believe you can put beauty and art and poetry everywhere in our daily life. When talking to someone, when cooking, when taking care of our home, or of course of our appearance.
Of course.
So it's all about our intention when we do something. So I choose this field of activity because I want the inner flame to grow up.
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
I want to develop harmony, so a certain kind of beauty between what you can see of you and who you really are.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and image consulting and numerology are my tools to achieve this goal, but I must admit, Sinead, that it's not always a very easy job. And I have done and I still do the job for myself, and it's definitely not a bed of roses.
Oh, there we go. We've put in our expression of the day. Fantastic. So I heard that numerology, it's sort of ancestral. It dates back to many years. Do you have any idea of how long this dates back to, numerology?
Oh, well, in fact, this symbolic art, it helps us discover the foundations of our personality and the purpose of our essence. And that's certainly why numerology has been used for centuries. But its roots are still a mystery. Okay. It's a little bit like the tarot, you know. It remains a mystery. And all we know is that the study of numbers was present at the ancient times, and numerology was used all around the world in ancient civilizations, in Egypt or in Babylon, in China, in Japan, and in Greece, for example. And we also know that scientists at the Middle Age, who were also great alchemists, used numerology. And what is usually said is that Pythagoras, the great mathematician, is considered as a modern father of numerology. And, really, yes. And Pythagoras said the whole universe can be expressed through numbers.
Okay. Oh, so that does go back a long way then. Yeah. And is there only one type of numerology, or is there different types of numerology?
Well, just as you can find nearly 100 types of meditation practices, there are different schools of numerology around the world and also in France. But they all consider numbers as symbols of our vibrations, and those numbers are calculated with our birth date, our name, and sometimes, in some kinds of numerology, with our place of birth or date of birth, hour of birth, are used.
Okay. So which type of numerology do you find good to use as a tool with your clients? Like, you probably choose different types of numerology depending on the different types of people, I presume.
No, I use one type of numerology, and I choose the numerology I use is a modern version of the practice. And I had a look at the different methods, and I choose this approach first of all because it considers that everything is not written in stone. So with any numbers, you are still the master of your fate, and you have the power to change your life. Okay. It's really important in my eyes, and the numbers will give you the music of your life, but you will have to write your own story. And also creative numerology. In creative numerology, there are no good or bad numbers. And also no numbers considered as superiors. You know, some numbers are called master numbers, but in the eyes of creative numerology, you are not crowned if you have master numbers in your thema, and you have to deal with them in their light and in their darkness too. So what is important really is the combination of your personal numbers and, of course, what you decide to do with them.
Of course. So what are some reasons that people go to see a numerologist?
Well, Sinead, I would see three types of people who come for a numerology coaching. Some clients are already in the movement of aspiring to know about their personality in depth.
That would be me.
And they have already done, or they are willing to start a significant work in terms of self-development. And others are at a crossroads in their life. For example, after a divorce, or at the beginning of a new relation, or starting a new job, or feeling professional unsatisfaction. And others are just curious and open-minded, and it's okay.
Okay. So what do you mean when you said earlier, I heard earlier you were talking about the bright side and the dark side. What do you mean exactly about this bright side and the dark side?
Well, in fact, we can consider that we are like nature. There is a day and there is a night. There is a moon and there is a sun, and we sometimes are opened to the world and to others, and we shine like the sun. And sometimes there is a tension, there is a kind of crispation, and we lose our harmony, we lose joy, and we tend to be afraid of the world. We lose confidence in us, and we are then in our night, in our dark side. So we are still the same person, but there is a dark filter on our eyes. And we don't see reality the same way because we have this
filter in front of us. Okay. Very interesting. I'll be definitely going to see. I'll tell you all the auditors after what it's like, but I definitely have to go. So I just need to know as well, is numerology a little bit like tarot? It gives you your destiny? I know you said earlier numbers. Excuse me. And we all know that numbers are with tarot as well, but is it like tarot?
Well, numerology is not like tarot. Well, numerology is in a tarot because you find numbers on the cards, but numerology is definitely not a predictive tool. However, a tool like the year plan, you can find it in your creative numerology. This tool can give you an insight in the periods of the year you're going to go through in terms of energy. So it can facilitate some major choices in your daily life. And also there is another tool called the life plan, and it can give you a global view on the big phases of your life in terms of cycles and also the actions in connection with those cycles. So I wouldn't say that numerology is a predictive tool, but it is undoubtedly a practical tool.
Okay, fantastic. So if people wanted to find out more, because we're coming towards the end of this little program, we've only got 2 minutes left. I know, where does the time fly, especially when we're having fun. So how can people contact you if they want to learn more about this? Do you have a website? Do you have somewhere where people, an Instagram or Facebook?
Yes, you can discover my website. It's my name, so Isabelle Vitry.
With one L?
With one L and a Y at the end, Vitry.
Yes.
And it's the same for Instagram. It's my name.
Okay.
In one word.
In one word, Isabelle Vitry.
Yes.
With one L and a Y at the end. Okay, good.
Exactly.
Just now that we have taken that in. And so I just want to say thank you, Isabelle, so much for all of this information. It was really good to hear about it. And it is extremely fascinating. We could be here all week talking about it. There's so much to do. But there's not possible, unfortunately, as there's only 1 minute left. So just before I finish talking to Isabelle, I just want to go back to our expression. And you placed that wonderfully, Isabelle. A bed of roses. And I said earlier, it's not always a bed of roses, which is obviously the opposite. So it means to say that a situation is not always easy or pleasant, and that there are some bad parts too. It's not always a bed of roses. So there we go. So now, just before we finish, don't forget that if you want to listen to this podcast again, of course, you can go on to 92.1 FM, Le Grand Lac. And of course, if you want to see any extra information, you can go onto our Facebook, etc. And bye to everyone today. Thank you again, Isabelle, for coming.
Thank you, Sinead.
And please stay tuned. Don't forget, because we have at 2:15 with All Beauty. Unfortunately, Jessica's not here at 1 o'clock today because she's got, I don't know, she can't be here. She's got her daughter who's sick. So at 2:15 with Astrid. And then at 6 o'clock tonight, One Lac Entrepreneur with Florian Huguenet and the Domaine Marlios. So that's all for today, folks. Talk to you soon, and thank you for listening to this podcast. Bye now.
Your English Weekly. Your English Weekly. La chronique 100% en anglais de Radio Grand Lac avec Sinead.
Radio Grand Lac. Votre radio.